in animal reproduction. Alright, so let's just talk about, the pathway of reproductive and urinary, right? Reproductive, that's one reproductive. I looked it up, picture, so I could show you the pathway, just to remind you, right? So, seminiferous tubules is where the sperms are produced. So, seminiferous tubule, this is testes right here, and then inside testes are seminiferous tubules. The sperms are produced in here, then it goes to epididymis. This is epididymis, right? Epididymis produce sperms until it's ready to ejaculate, right? This is where sperms are stored. And then it goes, then when you want to ejaculate, it goes through this tube right here. This tube, it's called vas deferens, right? This is called vas deferens. And then, right here, ductus deferens, vas deferens, same thing, right? Sorry, I was just looking for the name on this picture, couldn't find it. And then the sperm goes through here, and then it goes through seminal vesicle. Seminal vesicle is where fructose is produced. Fructose is produced for sperm to survive in woman acidic environment. And then it goes through prostate gland. Also necessary producing necessary alkaline material, alkaline liquid, that's what they call it, alkaline liquid, so the sperm could survive in the woman environment, right? So seminal vesicle and prostate gland, very important. Then the sperm goes through ejaculatory duct, right? You have two of them, right? Ejaculatory duct. And then it goes through urethra. Where's urethra? In here, urethra, right? This is the urethra, and then the sperm, and then you ejaculate from here, right? And then it goes through woman vagina, uterus, and then have to go to uterus tube, they call it. All right, so in male, let's go back. I don't know how to go back. Okay. All right, so we just talked about these. You can just read over it again. Right. So the primitive gonad develop into testes, and testes have two functional components. Like I said, seminiferous tubules is located in the testes, and then you have Leydig cells, interstitial cells, Leydig cells. Sperm produces, we already talked about that. Sertoli cells, they nourish the sperm, right? Cell of Leydig, right? This produce cells. This produce testosterones and other male hormones such as androgens. You can read about that. Right, like I said, epididymis store sperm for ejaculation, and the one thing I didn't talk about is that sperm gain the motility in epididymis too. All right, right. This is very important. I would say is very important because you can just read it and you'll be like, oh, you can just start memorizing it, but I think it's good to be visual here, so I'm gonna pull out there you go. All right, so spermatogonia is a diploid, and it goes to, as it gets mature, it goes to diploid primary spermatocytes, right? And right here, what's happening is independent assortment. Remember here, independent assortment, right here, prophase there's independent assortment in prophase. So this phase right here is happening right here. Meiosis, right? Ooh, I just realized that I made a mistake here. It's supposed to be meiosis 1 is a reduction phase, not meiosis 2. Meiosis 1 is a reduction division. I'm sorry. All right, so then from diploid primary spermatocytes to secondary spermatocytes, I don't know if you noticed, but secondary spermatocytes is a haploid. So what's happening here is the meiosis 1 segregation, right? Segregation, the mom and dad chromosomes are getting separated, right? Meiosis 1. The secondary spermatocytes to spermatid is the meiosis 2. And spermatozoa is, at the end of this, is still haploid, right? And the spermatozoa is the mature version of the spermatids, right? Mature sperm consists of a head, midpiece, and flagella. Head consists of acrosomes, right? Acrosome is necessary for the sperm to penetrate the egg. Midpiece has energy to swim from the vagina to uterus to the uterine duct, right? And then the fertilization can occur there in the duct, in the uterine duct. And then flagella, like we know, it's necessary for motility, right? All right, we're going to talk about female reproductive anatomy. Ovaries produce estrogen and progesterone. In male, Leydig cells were the ones that produced testosterone and androgen, right? Leydig cells were part of the testes. Each ovary consists of thousands of follicles. What it means by that is, let me just pull up the textbook that I got from my animal reproduction class. This big thing is an ovary, right? Inside of it, there are follicles, and follicles become mature throughout the month, and then it gets ovulated, right? It goes from primordial, primary, secondary, antral follicles, then it gets ovulated, right? We learned that. All right, so and all right, we can move on. Oogenesis. We, as males, have unlimited stem cells, right? We have unlimited sperm cells. All of the oogonia a woman will ever have will form during the development of the baby, right? By birth, the little female, the little girl, the little baby girl will have all the oogonia that she will ever have in her lifetime, right? And by birth, all the oogonia have undergone S phase, right? And they are stopped at prophase 1, and that's called primary oocytes, right? And then menarche is the first menstrual cycle. Am I even saying this right? Well, like, okay. So like primary oocyte per month will undergo one primary oocyte per month will undergo meiosis, starting the woman's first menstrual cycle to produce secondary oocytes. And what I think was happening is that from here, primary oocytes to secondary oocytes, just like male, during period, the oocyte is undergoing meiosis 1, the segregation phase. Segregation. So it's going from diploid to haploid, right? Primary oocyte, diploid to secondary oocyte, haploid, right? unless that secondary oocyte is fertilized, it is stopped at metaphase 2. Stop at metaphase 2 meaning it's not going to go further, is not gonna it's just going to stop at metaphase 2 and there's no pregnancy, right? You need a sperm to fertilize the oocytes, so the pregnancy happens, right? Well, you can read this. Meiosis 2 is triggered when the sperm penetrate the oocyte layer with the help of the acrosomal enzyme that we talked about earlier, right? Right, sperm is, plus egg, you form a zygote, right?